Well, first of all, I was a doctor, recently graduated from the University of Buenos Aires, and I was in Guatemala around the year 1954, and during my time there, I witnessed the Jacobo Arbenz get thrown out of office by a military coup that was supported by the Americans, the American government. And when I saw this, I was disgusted. I knew that there was something I had to do to keep this from happening anywhere else. And as soon as I heard Fidel Castro was recruiting people to support him in his rebellion against the Cuban government, I knew I had to join him in Mexico. Well, as rebels, we had very limited equipment, but we also did not have a very set base. Before we made it to the Sierra Maestra Mountains, we had to carry lots of equipment. And I, as a doctor, I was pretty much just a medic. So eventually it came to the point where I had to choose between continuing to carry my medical equipment or my ammunition. And at that moment I decided that I would have to fight and help my fellow rebels. Oh, yes, thank you. I was very proud of this when we first came into power. My initial mission was to help the poor. Growing up, I knew about all of these poor people living in the streets, and I wanted to help those impoverished. So, me and Fidel, we started introducing new laws and policies to help those who were in poverty. One of them would be cutting rent by up to 50% for those who obtained low wages. All the land of the old regime and any American land was nationalized and redistributed. Telephone rates were cut by 50%. And we also abolished the segregation of many of the facilities that were in Cuba. So we helped with the poor as well as any other racial ethnicity who were being abused in some sort. Well, I can say that I was very saddened to hear of the execution and torturing of these innocent people because of me and Fidel Castro's group. But it is the sort of action that I can expect from a fascist pig. So, when I heard about this, I knew that we would gain support for the rebels because people were obviously angered by this. So, there were many of us who wanted to quit, knowing that innocent people were being executed because of us. But me and Fidel knew that we had to carry on and continue fighting for Cuba's freedom.
Yes, the Soviet made very good allies for us. You see, after the invasion of the Bay of Pigs, which we won, it became apparent that the Americans would not help us. So we had to turn to another strong ally, someone who didn't like the Americans. They shared our view, our sense that communism is the best system. The Soviet Union was there to protect us, to back us up. They funded our economy. We were very good friends, and the relationship seemed to work on both sides for us. They wanted a close ally, a communist ally, who lived right next to the United States, and we needed their funding. We got along very well. Yes. It was a tough time. I was put on trial, and I gave a very, very heartfelt speech to my fellow Cubans who felt the same way that I did. I claimed that history will absolve me because I did what was right. The 2 years that I spent in jail it was a time for me to think, to plan what I should have done and what I should do. And what can I say? Maybe it was for the best.